Mike Harris back with What in the Law podcast. Today we're filming from the Sweet and Savory Pie Bar at 5152 Centennial Boulevard. They have some amazing pot pies. We have Elise.
I had a mojo Cuban.
How was that?
Pretty good, man.
And they have amazing dessert pies also and some other things. But today I want to not just talk about food. I want to talk a little bit about preparation. In particular, preparing for a sentencing hearing. You may need to provide certain documents to the prosecution and to the judge before your case. That might be something like a character letter or some sort of letter explaining hardship that you've been from. It could include medical records explaining hardships that you have overcome. It could also be things you have done to improve yourself, such as proof that you've done therapy, some sort of driving school or anger management, or something like community service or other things you have done to help the community. When you have something like this, you don't want to just walk in the day of court and hand it over to the judge. You want to provide this to your attorney in advance. First, it has to be reviewed to make sure this document is what the courts are looking for. Character letters often have to be edited. There can be too much extraneous information, sometimes even inadvertently bad information. And if you have something like this, the letter needs to be edited, sent back to the witness to be fixed, and then provided to the court. Medical records can be very confusing. You don't want to just throw in piles and piles of paper that are hard to read and can be very confusing with difficult medical terms. It can take a lot of time, not just to review the records, but frankly to narrow them down to get to the specific thing that a prosecutor or a judge is going to want to see and is going to be able to understand. If you have these type of things going on, these need to be filed with the court through a electronic filing system. So you need to have at least a couple days before you go to court to make sure that these are properly filed with the judge and that the judge has time to actually look at it before your case is called. Other things that can be necessary to prepare for a sentencing hearing is to bring in character witnesses to actually come in and speak in person on your behalf. When you have this situation, the witness wants to know a little bit about what should actually be said and what should not be said to keep things to the point and focused on what prosecutors and judges like to hear. So when you have something like this, don't wait too much. If you come in last minute, not only are you increasing your own stress level and your lawyer's stress level, you could be hurting yourself as far as what the actual sentence is going to be. There can be differences in whether the judge imposes certain penalties or decides that he's going to withhold certain things. And how you present your case can be very important. So here's some things to think about if you have a situation like this. So that's a little bit of information to help you out. So check me out next time on What in the Law podcast.